Lululemon employees fired for calling 911 on looters robbing the store. This is ridiculous. I hope they sue Lululemon out of the wokeness, just because of wokeness. You know, they put wokeness over people's own security. They were literally being looted, they were being robbed, and they expect their employees not to call the police. So not only can you not defend yourself, but now they don't want you calling 911. This is disgusting. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. Has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store where I have I Will Not Comply t-shirts as well. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news. All right, let's talk about this news. Rachel Rogers was employed as a sales associate at the Lululemon store in Peachtree Corners, Georgia, for 5 years. But after the same group of looters attacked the store for the fourth or fifth time, making off with thousands of dollars in merchandise, she called 911. Who would have thought that calling 911 when you're being attacked it would be controversial? Only in Biden's America that the simple call of 911 is controversial. But assistant manager Jennifer Ferguson described the scene as, quote, "All of a sudden, we see some gentlemen run into the store in masks and hoodies," Ferguson said. "They swiped until they couldn't hold any more product and ran out the door." But a week later, Rogers was fired. She had apparently run afoul of the company's policy that had a, quote, zero tolerance for calling 911. Certainly one can understand the companies directing employees not to interfere in a looting incident. You can understand that. You don't want anyone to get hurt. Just let them do it. But Rogers was fired for disobeying a company policy that prevented her from calling the police to the scene. So you can't even call the police. As it was, the same group of thieves hit another Lululemon store in the area the next day and were caught. The no 911 call policy was initiated to protect the company, said Ferguson. Quote, "We are not supposed to get in the way. You kind of clear path for whatever they're going to do," Ferguson said. And then after it's over, you scan a QR code, and that's that. "We've been told not to put it in any notes because that might scare other people. We're not supposed to call the police, not really supposed to talk about it." This is crazy. And the thing is, these criminals know this. They know the policy. They find out these policies like, oh, Lululemon is just going to let you go in and take everything. So a word gets out and people go in and they loot these stores because of this stupid policy. And Ferguson's husband described the fallout his wife and Miss Rogers were subjected to. He says, "So this crew is in jail, partly because the courageous and brave actions of Jen and the other employee. This is where my blood begins to boil. These are two exemplary employees, both leaders and looking to advance within the company. And what was their reward? They were immediately terminated without mention of severance or any financial consideration. Then, as the two terminated employees compared notes on their Zoom call experiences, it comes out that the regional manager for Lululemon openly questioned why they would call the police, stating that it would, quote, look bad for Lululemon to be the company calling the police." Are you serious? But he says, "Are you kidding me? These ladies are heroes of sorts. They did what we all hoped we could do in a similar situation. They were brave and courageous and honest and good citizens." And I mean, if we live in a world now, well, I should say we live in a country now where just calling 911 when there's a crime happening is considered brave. That is wild. Retail businesses have apparently decided to accept the huge losses in merchandise taken by organized gangs who have woken up to the fact that no one really wants to arrest and pursue them. Shoplifting or a felony theft are victimless crimes, we're told. We, the consumer, pay for these crimes through every higher cost for merchandise and shopping in an unsafe environment, which brings me to my closing remarks, I do not, and likely you do not want our area to end up like a San Francisco or Portland, where retailers are pulling out of cities due to theft and crime. Where citizens are afraid to go to certain areas because the police are not or will not be called. I mean, it's disgusting. If we citizens of the community allow criminal activity to go unchecked, that is a tacit approval for them to continue their ways, because they know that nothing is going to happen by them doing this. They know that these companies are going to be so woke, they would rather take the loss, let you steal their stuff, than you call the police. And then I mean, this is bizarro world we live in. But this is not what our country, state, or community is all about. Law and order must have respected place, and criminal activity must be punished. Furthermore, brave and courageous citizens and employees should be commended, not punished, for taking a stand. The brazenness of these criminals is matched in intensity by the stupidity and fear of management. Metro Atlanta will become more and more like San Francisco and Portland and all those other major cities, because they refuse to learn the lessons of big cities in the 80s and 90s. Broken window lead to a broken society, and that's one of my favorite things, the whole broken window thing. When you just let when people there's a broken window in the neighborhood and no one goes in and fix it, and then it just progressively gets worse from there, and that's exactly what's going on to our society. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.